Death Road, or the North Youngers Road, is a 64-kilometre predominantly downhill bicycle ride. It starts at an elevation of 4,700 metres above sea level and descends a whopping 3,500 metres down to where you finish the ride at 1,200 metres above sea level. The original road was built in 1930 and was cut into the side of the mountains. It has long been considered the most dangerous road in the world and nicknamed the Road of Death because its steep gravel road track through all the fog, mist, rain and lack of guardrails. And in my opinion, Bolivian drivers make this even more dangerous. They are without doubt the worst drivers I've seen in the world. And everywhere else in Bolivia, you drive on the right hand side of the road, but here you have to drive on the left. Go figure. This might explain why years ago, 200 to 300 people a year were actually dying on the road. Since then, parts of the road have actually been redone and there is not nearly as many lives being lost. You start the day off by getting picked up from your hostel, taken to the drop point, given your bike and safety equipment, do a safety check the brakes 5 or 6 times, and then you're given some cocaine leaves to help with the altitude. This area is one of the only areas in the world where the growing of coca plants is still legal. You start along an asphalt road, and after a few kilometres you actually go through a drug checkpoint. After that we get picked back up on the bus and dropped off further down the road where we start the gravel track. Now this is where you really need to start paying attention, as there are huge loose rocks on the gravel road and it's so fucking easy to get overconfident and take a tumble. There's loads of waterfalls and parts where it gets extremely narrow. Years before I went, a bus rolled over the side, 97 people died. Some parts where you look over, you can still see the wreckage from the buses and cars that have yet to be removed. It is extremely hard to focus on both the road ahead and the beautiful scenery around. Luckily, I chose to focus mainly on the road. The road is still in use for obviously tour groups, local buses and big trucks. These are the things you've really got to keep an eye on because there's not much room on the side of the road when these big boys go through. And this is where you come up to probably the most photographed part of the road, but all along is these insane drops of sometimes up to 600 metres. As most of the road is going downhill, I wouldn't say it's physically challenging, although the gravel road and all the jittering on the handlebars, I did end up pretty sore the next day. But the adrenaline going through me was more when I got out of La Paz's infamous Route 36 bar, and if you ever venture to Bolivia, I definitely think it's worthwhile to do this.